in TV land tonight.
Yeah. 126. Oh, they on again.
It could be it could be a story
or a bar fest.
Yeah, that's what I'm kind of leaning. That's what I'm kind of leaning towards.
But what about the Wonder Woman bracelet?
Oh, man. For the people.
Yes.
Where's you at?
We've been waiting for somebody to say something.
See if anybody going to join in here. Hey, get some of this alkaline water. I'm gonna tell you something else. Like my man be like, this is from the medicine. He'd be like, greetings. This is Connie.
Yeah,
I have my beverage of choice. I hope you have yours. I have fresh Peruvian distilled AquaGuard water.
Yes. Oh man.
Rosemary Todd sprays in the air.
Yo, it's hilarious.
Shit. Heard them damn horns came on. My shit. Put a pit bull in the pit, leave him pitiful. Pain for the propane flame a lane. Put some respect on my name.
Propane flame a lane. Put some respect on my name.
Henry Jamal Robinson conquer all. I'm trying to remember what it say.
They're like, yo, it's like, yo, all you do is drop knowledge. I'm like, nah, become a bar fest for you.
Yeah, you can be a little
with
arrogant.
a tinge in there, with a tinge of knowledge in there.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, that brass drink coming.
Yeah. You running from the top again? God. It's like Southern marching band coming in.
Yes. What's this, Grambling versus St. Aug?
They're talking with subliminals, leave it to a minimal. You're like them, short-lived like it's ephemeral. Every bar joust is seminal, semen on the clitoral, the word of genius literal. I put a pit bull in the pit, leave him pitiful. Fame for the profane, propane, flame a lane. Put some respect, yeah, something like that.
Yes.
I don't even know if it lined up with the beat because I guess it faded out
Oh, when I
as I started talking, but it's gonna be right.
Is this what you want?
Mm-hmm.
What?
Let's see here. What the hell?
Then we go left.
Yeah.
Now where they going? We over here now.
Mm-hmm.
Follow me. I have on my Obi-Wan Kenobi. My Obi-Wan Kenobi robe.
Oh man.
Is my beard naughty enough for you?
Look. Here's the deal. Everybody got the world figured out and the internet but me.
Likewise.
And I can sit around here and stay in the dark ages, or I can get with the times. So, Internet 101, you got to create you an alter ego. And I mean a real one. It can't be no low key, fly by night. You got to give the people some entertainment.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I was talking to my brother today about the how you can fake it on Instagram. Got buy you a couple outfits, get you some costume jewelry, decent camera, take some photos, go talk to a realtor like you going to look at some houses, and you can say, I'm down here popping with real estate, and you in a whole nother town, nobody know you, everybody from where you from, like, yo, he's doing well down south, like he's doing his thing. Get you a little clean car, always show your car clean, with your outfit on, and just take a bunch of pictures. And then I was like, but on the reality, You somewhere eating ramen noodles. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Oh man,
but
come
the
on,
bread flaming. You know what I'm saying?
come
It,
on.
that's it.
Yeah,
That is,
this is fake it till you make it has gone to a whole new height.
mhm. Yes. Yeah. I fully agree. And
Um, I think it lines up with the topic. You know, the topic is this that I put in there was Saturnian art.
mm,
You know, it's multifaceted, multi-layered. Um, but I don't know if you want to go with kick it off with um, the conversation we were having. If you want to, you know.
yeah. In my transformation, as we're constantly transforming. Well, I'll say this. Once again, I only can speak for myself. I don't know what anyone else is doing. But for me, I look at myself as a constant transformation. You sit somewhere for a minute, you know. I kind of feel like you're where your understanding is at a particular time. But if you're steady growing and trying to learn and understand, then you're forever bringing things in and then transforming yourself with the information, if it makes sense to you. And I was telling you about, I told you about I started praying and meditating again. But then I also and listen, and speaking of the medicine, when I was watching that video, he was talking about eating every other day. And
Hmm.
I implemented that.
Hmm.
And um and also what I implemented was slowing down. And then when I told you that, you was saying how that works with this with the Centurion energy, and you had brought up with all this weather and the ice and people need to slow down. We tapped into CV-19 and how everybody had to slow down and kind of reevaluate. Because I've been hearing a lot of people saying like, they were um pretty much their whole life was discombobulated because of CV-19. And you had people going in depression and can't go outside and but I didn't hear no one, and I guess I might have been hearing a lot from our entertainment folk. Um because everybody I knew that was in the regular world was still rocking and rolling. You know what I'm saying? But it was the entertainment folk. And I guess because maybe their livelihood depends on moving around and filming, doing music, sports, and all of that stuff. And that's their livelihood. And we never know, how much somebody has in the bank. We see the incomes of people, but we don't know what people have in the tuck. You know what I'm saying? We don't know how
Right.
people, especially artists, musicians. If you're not a legacy musician, that's on some Rolling Stones, you've been torn. Peace, brother William 77.
What's up, brother Williams?
Like if you ain't one of these artists that's a legacy act that's been touring crazy, like the Rolling Stones, or or like a Jigga, or whoever, and you like a new artist that's just getting on, you struggling right now. And so you heard a lot of people talking about where they were struggling. Me, on the other hand, like I said before, I got into the vitamins. I stretch. I do my stretches every day. I got a treadmill. I haven't got on it yet. My wife been pressing me to get on it, but I have my treadmill, and and then I implemented the praying and meditating, and then watching the meta center video. I implemented eating every other day, and then what I noticed was I was so used to just eating when I wanted to eat. Like I was almost, oh, like it's almost 12 o'clock. You know, let me dump something in me real quick because I'm not gonna eat for, you know, 24 hours or whatever. And but then I noticed like, yo, slow down. And I was I was eating when I wasn't hungry is what I noticed. Let me just, let me go get 2 handfuls of cashews. Let me eat a sandwich. Let me eat 2 sandwiches. You know what I'm saying? Just over like, and not even just overdoing it. You know what I mean? Because I always say some of it was based on how I was raised, and we had food, but my mom was one of those you can't get up from the table till your plate clean, and
Mhm.
come outside from play. And usually we played all day, and then we come in the house. Then it was time to eat. And I remember we should drink all our little Kool-Aid because we came in thirsty from playing. So, I would knock my Kool-Aid off. And, I got to the point my mom was like, well, I'm putting this on top of the refrigerator or something till you eat your food. Like we ain't had nothing to swallow, but she wouldn't let us get up half the time until our plate was clean. So I learned how to overeat at a young age, and then it just permeated as I grew up. Like I just start stuffing myself, and now, like I said, it's like doing this uh doing this transformation of right now. I learned how to slow down and just be. And like today, I woke up, I ate some leftover couscous, kale, spinach, and carrots I sauteed, and I made some Harris Teeter got these little chicken sausages with some different things in them, and I ate that, and I probably ate that around maybe 2:30. I haven't eaten since, and guess what? I'm full I'm full right now. Yep. Yes, we're on Bandcamp, brother William 77. Um. So yes. So I learned to slow things down and not rush. And I think I've been feeling rushed because of time, and meaning like I've been looking at my life. I'll be 46 years old in August. And I got 40 plus left. So what I'm gonna do on my next 40 plus. And I think thinking in that way put a little bit of rush on me. Um put a little rush on me. And I started I gotta get this done. I gotta get this done. I gotta, but now I'm just more like just slowing everything down. And I think this time helped me. And also just really listening to information and implementing certain things uh that I'm reading and listening to.
Right on. Well, we talked about in the conversation about how down here in Texas, um, which was the reason that I wanted to call this the or reference Saturn in this video or this discussion, is that when this whole thing with the health thing broke
Mhm.
out, it made everybody sit still and stay.
Yes.
And which is a Saturnian word, stay, stuck, still. Those are all Saturnian words. And then um and Saturn is the ruler of Capricorn. Um and we had all these planets that lined up in Capricorn in 2020. This historical stellium that lined up. And then all of a sudden we have Aquarius, you know, and there's all of the excitement about, because it's natural. You've been bottled up, and now it's like, oh, it's this sense of, because Aquarius is freedom, rebellion, um, going against the establishment. So it's natural that With the Aquarian energy, it's just like, okay, let's go. We were pent up, we were bottled up, let's go.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, as you get a little older and hopefully get a little wiser, you start to realize the importance of what you do in the time of stillness.
Right.
You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
You know, if that being stuck ain't necessarily quote unquote evil. It's only evil if if time is misused, misappropriated. And okay, so that's the first thing that came to mind. And then just with the storm that hit down here, this very odd
Mm-hmm.
storm.
Right. Some people said it
It
was a man-made storm. Some
would
people
say it
said,
was very odd. And we say
yes.
we've never seen nature not move, where nature just, just sits and stays in one area and don't move.
Some
It's
people
very
said it
odd.
was because of the fight in the election. Is it
What's
the
that?
Some people said it was the fight of the election. You guys were being punished.
Hey, it
So
might be some truth to that. And the people are nothing but cannon fodder, just pawns in the game, and
yes.
uh, what they call them, dispendables,
Yep.
or expendables. What is which one? Yeah, expendables. Um, but what hit me was, you know, um, ice ice has no restriction to it. On ice, you can go as fast as you want to go. You can go faster than you ever dreamed of.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
try
All,
going
all,
down the
all you got to do is be able to get the momentum up, and
Yep.
you can go. There's nothing restricting you. So, is it always bad to have unfettered freedom? We
Mm.
saw we saw what can happen, the implications or the outcome of when people don't know how to utilize restraint
Mm.
on their own. You know what I'm saying? And to
Mm-hmm.
me, the ice was immature approach to Aquarian energy. You know what I'm saying? I'm in a hurry. You in my way. I gotta go.
Mm-hmm.
They told me when I went to Discount Tire, these is the best tires. these,
Yeah.
these are the top of the line BF Goodwrench. You stupid. You people just don't know how to drive on the ice. You're scared, you know?
Right.
Shh, you see what happens. But that's my opening volley um into the discussion, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. And I think when you juxtapose it with CV, um, you said unfettered freedom. And that's what people feel we have, even though you know we know we know that there's some strings, but we are made to feel like we're unfettered. But there's strings, and uh and CV proved that. Um you had people that didn't even care. Now if this thing is real or not, I don't know. I was more of caution because I just know what we dealing with. So it's like, okay, let me sit back. Let me get a little information. Like I'm not the one that's like, yo, man, I'm just going out here because I don't know what's going on. So let me sit
Mhm.
back, get a little information. And it's like they always say in the community, like, yo, you gotta take like at least a good month to see what's going on, and then make a decision on if you think this thing's real or and then what's your next, what is your next move going to be with what's going on, because we just have history here that tells us, um that some nefarious things can go on. So I sat back, just watched, and then I just watched. As much as people say we got freedom, I seen people just fall right in line. Just like, I'm gonna take whatever they give us, and it's still that they're not gonna harm us. And I'm like, yo, we just got we have more than American history to show us how the people have been treated by hierarchies. Like we have a crazy amount of history. We're always we if you're not in the upper echelons of what society is, it's like you said, you the cannon fodder. You're the let's see how far we can bend them. And, like this, like they're having fun with us. On anything at the wall and see what sticks.
It ain't
And
funny, but my God, when you just when you just
yeah,
imagine the conversations.
right. That's let's just throw this at them. Let's okay. Let's poison this water over here and see what happens. You know what I'm saying? And it's like,
Hmm.
um, so yeah, I just seen people just give in, and and obviously it's based on where people's knowledge is, where they're at when everything's going on. But it just seemed like there was no caution being thrown to the wind. Uh, and so I don't know. It just made me think like slow down. And that was probably the first, now that I'm thinking about it, that was probably the first moments of slow down for me, was paying attention to this. Because it's really, because before this, I was just freestyling, to be honest with you. You know what I'm saying? Like I was just, wake up, whatever. But this kind of, I don't know, for whatever reason, it seemed like this could have came from the all or what, but it's like, maybe humanity's at a crossroads, and now it's time to make decisions on a grand scale.
Yeah,
Brother William 77 says, always expect the unexpected when dealing with Mother Nature. And I believe that. But then I think the other side of that coin is, they say that Tesla was able to control, he had this weather machine, and, supposedly Hart was online for a while. And then I seen some videos, probably maybe a year to 2 years ago, they were saying that Harper's offline and they got something even more for direct energy, to use for direct energy directives over certain areas, bringing rain. And then we know China is putting it in the public that they're messing with the weather, that they're trying to create things like that. So that's what I'm saying. It just, that what Brother Williams just said tapped in what I just said, like paying attention and slowing down, and then seeing like what is what. Because if China's in the public saying they're trying to bring more rain to certain areas and all that, that mean they messing with the weather. So now if they're doing it, who knows who's doing what? And if you're a country or you're an area or whatever, um, that's against what the you know quote unquote powers that be are in, somebody might direct like we might have an ill summer this summer. you know or you want to act out, okay, here's a month for 100-degree weather every day, you
hmm.
know
What
and it's just bugged out.
I I would add on to what Brother Williams said, to link it to what you're saying
Mm-hmm.
in this manner. Always expect the unexpected when dealing with the matrix.
Oh yes, I like that. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know, because he's from our era. We're that Generation X.
Okay.
You know, a lot of us were raised up. I mean, that's the solid information you need to have. I was grilled with that.
Mm-hmm.
Be prepared. My old man always had, like, they talk about these bug out bags now. My old man always had a mild version of a bug out bag in the trunk, meaning
Mm,
he would have like ponchos, he would have some Vaseline, some long johns, some toboggans, some gloves, and it was always in the trunk because, and just to break it down for people who don't understand, Vaseline will save your life when the hawk is out. If you ain't got a whole lot of clothes, if you cover yourself in Vaseline, let me tell you something. I
yeah,
bear witness. That should have saved your life.
yes,
Damn near have your ass feeling like you at damn in Miami,
yes.
in frigid weather. You know, so we were raised up on that. But now we're in this era we in now. Like I did a video a while back, like the dark side of the event, the dark side of Aquarius. We're
Mhm,
seeing it. Yeah, we're in the Aquarian age, but it ain't all gumdrops and lollipops, you
mhm.
know. And I think now we're faced with um, like I was saying, how to expecting the unexpected when dealing with the matrix. Like it has changed how you have to shop for groceries. You gotta shop with scarcity in mind all the time now. Well, you can't just go and buy some water and be like, oh yeah, we out of water. You can't afford to be out of water.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? You
Yep,
you you can't afford to let your water supplies get below a certain amount is just supposed to be to stash, to hold back. Um uh
indeed, brother Williams, indeed.
food, uh the basics, like you don't need a grill now for 4th of July. You need a grill now for if your power go out.
Yep, yep,
And you can at least go out and fire up a grill. You can, what I'm saying? You can boil a pot of coffee. You
yep.
can, I'm on my yash now. The 2/3.
2
I,
Thursday gonna
what's,
take it.
what's this right here? What's it? I'm a canuck. I need my glass. What's this? You, it's all crazy.
And then when I'm on my grill, don't come to me. Don't come eat
I
over here.
told y'all. Don't ask me. Don't ask me for shit. I, I ain't the one. Y'all told you. Y'all gave you the message.
Yes. Ah.
Hey, but my man be. Hey, look. I'm clowning, but my man he be giving some truth though. Uh, okay. Let me see. Brother Williams said every time they imitate or mess with the code of nature, she snaps back like a rubber band. Oh, without a doubt. Oh yeah, yeah. You know, all we doing is riding the wave. You
Mhm.
know, because ultimately there has to be fear behind as a key motivating factor behind a lot of the things we see. Because a person who lives in fear projects fear. People project what they are or
Mhm.
what's at their core.
Right.
If a person is confident and loving, they usually exude humility, kindness. You know what I'm saying? People tend to exude. Earth, Wind, and Fire say you can't give what you never had. You know what
Mm.
I'm saying? So I think what we're seeing is people who cannot deal with their fears. You know, at a
Mhm.
deep level, uh, and if we dare say they got a soul, whatever it is that drives them, it's hollow. You know, And that's another subject, though.
And
Um,
Brother Williams, I agree with you. Just a humble observer that's learning. Yeah, I take that mantle myself. Um, that's something my father taught me early on in life. Part of it, one of them was read everything. Two things that stuck out to me: read everything, and when you walk in a room, peep the room. Just peep everything around you before you step in to see what's going on. And the reason he told me to read everything is because he said you want to know what's going on, and he says you may not know the subject fully, but when someone hears what you do know, they might be able to help you add on, and then you listen, and then you can always you can always take subjects on yourself, and and learn them fully. But he was like, just read everything. So I began. He was telling me that in elementary, so that was bored in my head, and it would usually come when I wasn't, if I something happened at school and I got a phone call home, something like that. My father wasn't he wasn't the disciplinary. He wasn't the disciplinarian my mother was. He was the talker. He would bring me to the kitchen table and have the elaborate talk with me about why I need education and why I need to pay attention, and then he'll put it into societal norms why I need these things. Now it'd be yelling when he doing it, but that's what he would do. My mom was like, "Oh, you okay? Come over here." So, but she was also over time. She became thoughtful also, and we started talking. Especially once I got about 15, we started having conversations. Um, about if I was not doing well in school or something's going on at school, we started having more conversations. Because then I was about as tall as she was at 14, so like the strap, the strap wasn't working anymore.
she ain't trying to throw her shoulder out.
Yeah. She was like, okay, it's either this or you go live with your pops. Um, but yeah, I think being observant is key, um and being open to information and learning. I think what happens to us or people per se is programming. Like I didn't really understand how big programming was until I got into the information, because it's like if you don't have anything outside, because I think we believe the public education system, or should I say the board of education, because they're this structure. We give structures respect and then expect what they're giving us is truth. And then we're programmed by that. And it's not until we step outside of that that we see that no, there's some alternative information they haven't given us. And once you dig into that and then look at your programming, you start seeing some holes. And and that's what made me begin to walk down a different path of understanding, was I started seeing those holes. So um yeah, that observer thing that's a real thing. And being open and listening, because I had a lot of old heads that talked to me too, like, and I listen. I'm just happy I was whoever whatever, what I am. I'm just happy I'm that. Because me and Jamal talk about that a lot. Like, it's just a lot of people that's, they would never do that, and that's a stretch, but, and you like, nah, bro, like, you got to come look over here. Oh, who wrote that, and what are they about? And which you do need to vet, but um, it's bigger than just what they're giving us on the surface.
No doubt. And coming back to just the idea of slowing down and its relationship to Saturn, there's the great athletes. It's always been said they're able to slow the game down.
Yes, that zone.
And I was telling my wife the other day, I was like, when I first got to college, when you're playing sports, you most of the people who get to college, if you're on some scholarship, then that means you probably had experienced some measure of success in high school. You were considered good or great or to different levels depending on the region you were in.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. When I was in high school, my senior year, I went to this all-star game. Like, we had the Shriners game.
Mm-hmm.
That was the first taste of having to feel like things were speeding up because everybody there was pretty good. But when you get to college, it exponentially seemed like the game sped up.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, damn, it was like a shock. By your sophomore year, you got a year under your belt and you understand the speed you have to move at to compete at that level.
Mm-hmm.
By your junior year, you're even more comfortable, and now you're actually moving faster than some people because your mentality has picked up, and you understand not just your position, you understand the whole game better now.
Mm-hmm.
You understand, um, where everybody is supposed to be. And suddenly the game starts slowing down.
Mm-hmm.
Saturnian. And um I'm seeing that metaphorically superimposed in our lives now, like the importance of being able to slow down the game. And but what does that entail? What does that entail? It What we're seeing for me, I have really, really engulfed myself into studying astrology. You
Mm-hmm.
know, I'm one of the people, I'm not gonna do nothing till it's interests me enough to where it's like, and once it gets me, I'm kind of fanatical. So pardon me if I keep making these references. But
Go in, brother.
these fields of energy, because we live in a Western world, we can tend to think of things linearly. Like, this is your section, then this next section starts here. But the real deal is when you're talking about energy, they overlap. Okay. This Saturnian energy of slowing down is not completely in opposition to the Aquarian energy of wanting to rebel and think outside the box. And
Mm.
actually, there's a way to find a marriage between the two. Because if, from what I'm seeing, if when you slow down, you start to see things from a more individualistic standpoint, that's Aquarius. Aquarius wants the collective to win, but does not want to lose the individuality, because the dark side of Aquarius is groupthink,
Mm.
like a beehive. Everybody moves, everybody knows their job, everybody knows their function, and you just move, you do it.
Right.
So if we're not careful, what appears to be revolutionary can actually be stifling, and it can be a trick. Like I see now in media, especially social media, we're being fed the idea of what looks revolutionary.
Right.
And I mean, on multiple levels,
Yeah.
we're being
As
fed
as
this.
as they rehashing past revolutionaries.
Say that again.
I said as they're rehashing, like coming out with the movies, like with the
That's it. That's
yeah.
it. Everything's connected.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's connected. And so it's everything's about us, we, everybody's, and posing in Instagram photos looking revolutionary.
Yep.
But revolution is about becoming whole. If something
Mhm.
makes a revolution, it's a full circle. If it makes a full circle, it is whole. And so that points back to individualism, which is Aquarian.
Yes. I was just thinking that. Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So if we marry these energies, we're slowing down to observe ourselves,
Mm-hmm.
to evaluate ourselves on all levels, from the mundane to the spiritual,
Mm-hmm.
and then to take action.
Yep. Yep.
You know what I'm saying? At a certain point, what's going on in the world becomes a distraction.
To keep you from self.
You know what I'm saying? Hell, even the weather. If the desire is not there to try to figure out networks to do things, and it's not about fanfare. It's like, do you have some friends? Do call them up? Hey, how y'all doing? Y'all got? I mean, that's what we were doing down here. Hey, y'all got your power on? Yeah, our power. Well, our water's off. Da da da. Da. Hey, well, we got some water. You want us to bring you some water down there? You need some food? That I think now, and I know I'm going on, and I'm gonna yield the floor here. I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna shut up. I feel like now what's being you always talk about us being nudged, right?
Mm-hmm.
Can you see how we're being nudged to where everything we do, we got to stop and pose for a picture
Mm-hmm.
so that the people know that we did it?
Yep.
So it's like I'm calling up some friends on the phone. Oh, hold up. Take this picture of me calling them, ask me if they need some water. Oh, whoa,
Right.
whoa, whoa. No, forget that. Let me record myself, and then I'm gonna put a version on TikTok, and I'm gonna tell them to follow me on Instagram, and then I'll put the whole story on there. I can do the story on Instagram, like, hey, this is brother Jamal. Do you need water, beloved? Because I'm the water bearer. I will bring
oh,
you water, beloved. And then
oh,
turn at the camera and be like, this is how we supposed to stick together.
yep.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's how we done been cooked up, man.
Yeah. And it's funny because that's true community, right? Everybody talk about these communities and how to support each other and bringing things to the table, but it doesn't have to be shown. It just have to be done. And I think that's the piece um we don't, some people don't get. Um we haven't had any, we had a little cold come through, but I knew I do that. I check in on my moms, mom, you all right? You got food, hit the grocery store. We got this weather coming in, and make sure well, my mom is a prepper on the low too, like candles. She's always done candles because she just loved the aromatherapy of it. But candles, flashlights, lighters, keep her some canned goods, uh, and that's what we did here. Like you know, we don't have like the wood stove and the grill and all of that, but it's coming. because it's all about, like you just said, it's all about prepping and preparing, and
Mm.
not on doomsday prepper. I got, 14,000 cans, in the basement somewhere. It's like, no, just enough for what's going on, and what's going on around you. We don't know. We never know what the play is going to be. Uh, while we're living, or what's going on in our society. We never know what's going to happen. Any day something can happen, and you need to have some preparedness with you. That's just that makes sense. So here we have canned goods here. Like if power went out, I'm on my cowboy, pop that can open and eat right out the can with a spoon. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Like I always tell about what, because we don't have a microwave here. I mean, and that wouldn't work with no power anyway. But I always say my furnace gonna warm the food up. You know what I'm saying? So it's like we have little things in place, just in case something does happen, and that is just all up. I don't know. That's what it's to me. That's what it's all about: being prepared and having understanding. And then when something happens, and then you're able to help someone. I got a couple neighbors I live in an apartment, and I try to, not to get to know my neighbors super personal, but like I got one neighbor that, I know him from he's out, he works on his car or whatever. He let me use some tools to do something on my car before. He's pretty cool. We interact, I interact with him, he interact with me and my wife. And so we got a little community. Like if I needed something, he's one of those guys that's like, hey man, y'all all right? And me and my wife, we're the same way, y'all all right? And but like you said, there's no need to broadcast that. Like you just do it, and and that's it. Like, and be done. And just make sure your people's cool. I don't know if I think I went a little bit off topic, but
I think it's all
but
relevant.
yeah, but I think in tune with slowing down, I think that's a part of it too. Um, this told us to prepare. Um, first off with yourself, and then and get your home in tune, and then just study and pay attention to what's going on in front of you, and then make sure your people are right. You know, make sure your people prep. And that's about all we can do.
It also brings to mind like a ponderance of what really is time, you know, and
Hmm.
because if I'm slowing down what? What am I slowing down?
Self.
And uh,
Self.
yeah, but what force in
Mm.
self am I slowing down? See what I'm saying?
Okay.
I'm having to apply resistance to something to slow down. And if I had to go back to the astrology here, like my son got a lot of water in his chart. And so it's like you start thinking about water. And why is Aquarius called a water bearer? And, you think about it, okay, what can bear some water? Well, a pitcher can bear some water.
Hmm.
You think about it, if you're thirsty, the water is kind of no good to you if you can't get it into some type of structured environment to where you can receive it. It's like when we were in middle school, they took us to this camp called Camp Green Cove.
Hmm.
And it was the best water I ever had in my life. It was this stream they take us up to, and they showed us how to take these certain leaves and cup them and go down and catch the water out the stream and come up and drink it. And I swear it was that was the most rejuvenating water I ever had in my life. But
Mountain
it
water.
it taught it, as it says, better than that alkaline water, even better. um, but it taught me then the importance of. I was like, damn, if you don't know how to hold this leaf right, to cup it to get this water, you can't get it. And she gonna be like a damn bass fish, stick your head down in that shit, you know. And so now I'm coming back and thinking about um our bodies are 70 something percent water.
Mm-hmm.
And so our bodies is really, we are the water bearers. And we have these temporary containers to hold water, but water inherently wants to flow. It wants to be free. And it's like we are water bearers and Saturnian at the same time, because we kind of create barriers for the water temporarily, you know. Um, so when we're talking about slowing down time, maybe we're talking about some manipulation or attempt of manipulation of water. Saturn is associated with Capricorn. Capricorn is the time of the year where the earth goes into restriction. You know what I'm saying? Constriction, everything tightens up, coagulates. Freezing, ice, frozen water.
Mm-hmm.
And I know I'm going on a tangent. I'm just this mind, this I just was thinking through all this stuff, you know, just about what are, and then when, you know, as you get older, part of the decaying process, if you will, is that the water starts to evaporate out of us slowly. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Joints start getting stiff, why you have to drink even more water, because it's starting to kind of slowly try to leave and free itself. And it's
Wow.
like, okay, I'm seeing, like, looking at my son, okay, he needs boundaries, you know. But I know I'm just all over the place, but I just,
Nah, that's
that's
good. That started making me think about when like how you look when you get older. You start wilting away. You start looking like a twig or something. You know, you might start losing weight. Your skin get all, wrinkly. And then if you're losing water and you're not hydrated, yeah, that like I don't know that just made sense to me. It's not something I even thought about before. About I know we're 70% water, but as you get older, it's like your water is dissipating, and then you know you're out of here, and you evaporate into something else. You know,
Mhm.
when we have a soul, then you're going back to the source, or that's what I think. Um, but yo, that's deep because you come in, you're vibrant, your skin looks good, and as long as you stay hydrated throughout your life, um, you you can even because something's going to take us out anyway, but you can even pass away looking good with hydration. Um, so yeah, I never thought about that.
Yeah, they
What?
said it's said that millions of tons of water fall to the earth each day, but it looks like comets when it's coming, like fireballs.
Mm,
And it hits the atmosphere, and when we have natural weather and rain, the natural process is that it hits the atmosphere and it breaks up the coagulation of the whatever the fireball, and then it dissipates, and then that's how we have rain. So in essence, the water on the earth is extraterrestrial, which
Wow.
means we are extraterrestrial.
Right. Right. Mhm.
And as above, so below is those waters in our oceans are in a constant back and forth between the heavens and here. So it's just like, wow.
And would you say through evaporation? Because it goes back up, it comes down, and then it goes back up through evaporation.
hmm The
Is that
hydration cycle, or the
mhm.
hydrolysis, well, I forgot what they call that in chemistry. Yeah, evaporation, condensation, precipitation, and there might be something else I'm leaving out. You know,
It
um,
seems on this planet that that's what this is it's like a recycling plant, right? Because
mhm,
you have the trees, and then the trees have leaves, and then certain we got the four seasons, and things change, and then they come back, and we have fruit that grow that you can have a pear tree in your yard, and it's so abundant, pears fall off the tree, and then they dissolve into the ground, and then the wintertime come, the tree bears no fruit, then spring comes back and it bears fruit again. um yeah, and I know I said this to you before, but I think we can see life, and I think nature, we can see we can see our life in nature, but we've been pulled away from nature, um and bombarded with some other things, um I guess mainly through capitalism, uh to an extent, to where we're not natural anymore. Um by paying it, like I know, like the first, they say that the first, if you go back in the ancient times, when they start begin to understand the stars, and looking at the landscape of, okay, during this certain time, we like how they were saying they were doing in Egypt. They knew the waters were coming in, so they knew they had to plant at this particular time, and then the waters were going to come in, and then they were going to do. So it was some order, and now we don't really have order. Our order now is based on capitalism, because it's now is based on getting up, going to work, and then you have children, and they got activities, and you're running around doing that, and then you got to come home and cook some dinner, and then you need some family time, then you need you and your wife time. You done did all of that, you ain't had no nature time. Like, you ain't
mhm.
even know what's going outside, you know and what's going on around you, and I feel like we got away from that a little bit. But nature shows us, it shows us life, and now we don't see it anymore, or some people don't see it anymore. It's just like, go cut the tree down, we need to build this apartment complex over here. um and that's where we're at this moment, but I think we're going back to that. And that's why I always say, man, is humanity trying to you know change it? Like, is this I think I was talking to you the other day about it. Like, if there's a prime creator and we come from it, that means we still attached to it, and it can tap into us. Um, and is it tapping into people to bring some sort of change? Because I feel like we're about to go back, not to the quote unquote stone age, but we're about to go back to being natural, and maybe living off the land, and being around some water, and doing some things in that nature, because we got a little bit out of control.
Yeah, it's very possible. Um, I think there's a lot more knowledge of that has been collected, There's a movie called Ark on Netflix,
Ah,
and
pretty sure I watched that.
saw it like 5 years ago. And
Pull that up. I think I seen the movie.
went back and watched it again the other day. Um, and not to get a movie away, but basically, time just keeps looping. And by the end of the movie, the main characters finally realize what they are really in, and they keep trying, and they try to leave a warning for themselves on the next go around so that they won't waste time, you know.
Mm-hmm.
um, I encourage um, people to go watch that. It's spelled ARQ. And I don't know if I should share this, huh?
So I'm looking at the trailer right now because I think I watched this, but I'm looking at this trailer to see if I can remember something from it because this was deep. But my bad.
No, you good. I'm just, man, after studying all this stuff for, and I mean voraciously for a decade, there are things you start seeing and make you wonder, are you nuts? Are you overly eager to see something to give credence to what you've been studying? Or is it just real and but it's so odd, and not even all that odd, but it just seems like it would be unbelievable to the average person. And everybody has their ways, to me, that these things
Mhm.
occur, as far as people who've been on a certain path for a minute. the
Mhm.
I get these channels through these funny memes, and I know, like, I reference a lot of books and stuff, right? And I think sometimes it might appear that he's got to have a book, his nose in a book, da da da. And there was somebody said one time, people out here pushing books, and you gotta go within and da 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 da. To me, that statement is a misunderstanding of what metaphysics is. It's one of the first things you learn is as above, so without, so below, as within, so without. You understand what I'm saying?
Mhm.
It's your filter is what needs to be checked. It is not your source, because source is everywhere. But even with that said, there's channels that come that tell you when to pick up a book and what book to pick up and what to look for. And what I'm saying is, when I say this, I'm not telling you or to whomever's listening what I read. This shit is what happens
Mhm.
over and over and over. It seems as though your world starts to become, and I don't know if this is part of this smart world, you know, they, and And maybe the whole thing of the smart cities and the smart worlds is because it's a counter attack or counter move against a natural progression or thinning veil that this dimension is moving through, to where when they say the quickening, okay, let me get to my point. I ain't want to even, I'm going to say this much. We had this storm hit, right?
Yeah.
My wife works in the medical field. She had to be, she couldn't just call out because the weather's bad. So it's like, what we gonna do? Well, let's go on out here. We're gonna get a room, so we'll be close to where she worked. Our room ended up being 1908. Okay,
That's
it
a
just so
particular year.
huh?
That's a particular year for a fraternity, I believe.
Yeah, for the NAACP.
Oh, okay.
You thinking about
One of them.
the Boule?
Yeah, 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 yeah. I think
I
I've
think
seen.
they 1904. I think.
Okay.
I think so. I've been, in addition to delving into astrology, I've really been into the numerology.
Mm.
Check this out. Take out the zero, you have 198.
Mm-hmm.
Now, one of the simplest ciphers you can write for numerology is just the 1 through 9 cipher, where you assign all of the 26 letters in the alphabet to this cipher.
Mm-hmm.
The only potentially legible word that I could pull out of 198 was ARC.
Wow.
ARQ.
The movie.
And when I saw it, I was like, that sounds like that movie,
Right.
ARC. And it just so happened it's not spelled ARC. All I could get was ARQ. There's nothing close to a word I could get out of that. QRA, QAR, that's not a word. Closest thing is ARQ. I was like,
Mm.
It's like, damn, that sound familiar. So I go back to Netflix. I was like, I thought I watched that. Found a movie. And I was like, I don't know if it was spelled ARC or ARQ. It's spelled ARQ.
Wow. And in that movie, they talking about a time loop
A
and
time loop.
and a new energy and a new energy source to help humanity. And what are they talking about in reality? They're
There
on
we
this
go.
Green New Deal, and you got people that want the Keystone Pipeline going, and then you got people with this Green New Deal. Wow.
So just because you study does not mean you're reliant on a book, because the see you study to create to me, part of the reward is it's like it's a muscle you build, you know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? And
Yeah.
that muscle it's a muscle of perception, to me, to where your senses become so heightened, things that the average person don't even see, don't even care to see, don't even know is around them. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like these channels, because I never seen myself to have no special gifts like, the people who, I'm a psychic, and or I'm a energetic healer, and I'm not saying that people can't do what they do, I think I'm so cautious about ever labeling myself as having a gift. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? I think I do have some, to be completely honest, but
Right.
I'm not going to label it because I think what happens is there's a lot of charlatanism going on.
Yes.
So I'm always trying to I don't want to ever sell myself as being special. You understand
Right.
what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I like to to think that any person who applies a certain amount of effort can get a certain amount of return. So this to me seems attainable to anybody. You know, if you can read, if you can have an inquisitive mind, like your pop said, read everything,
Mm-hmm.
I think it creates you this vast new muscular nervous system that taps you in to everything around you like an organic smart city.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it
And it's
starts,
my
my
bad.
bad, uh-huh.
You good? No, I was just saying, and now we're talking application because
Application.
instead of savior, take me to the water. Okay, I'm gonna drink this water in front of you to let you know it's fine. Now you drink the water instead of I'm gonna go get us a pitcher of water and bring it back. It's that whole teaching people to fish with the information. That's what you're talking about. That's what it made me think about. Like, yo, if you know um you dealing Reiki energy or whatever, like show me the method. Now let me do the method and see if it works for me. And me and my wife been on application for years now because we was reading so much stuff and we was like, yeah, we doing a lot of looking into stuff and listening and we ain't applying nothing to see if it worked. Because what happens is you just regurgitate that. Like you said, you read a book and then I read this book and it said you should do this. Well, did you do it? I ain't do it, but the book says this is what you should do, so I'll try it. And it's like, nah, like what is really boiling down to again, and I know we've been talking about this, but it really seemed like this is what it is it's individualism again. Like
Individualism.
everything is telling us to come back to self and come back to center, which is yourself, because all we can control is us. Like, yeah, we got wives, we got children and all of these things, but ultimately none of that works if I'm not together. So like if I'm not together, my wife not gonna want to be with me. If I'm not together, some sense my children ain't gonna want to, they're not gonna want to deal with me as they get older. So all the information I'm bringing in, everything I'm learning, now let's do some application and see if it works. And as long as I'm not doing anything that's going to harm me, if it doesn't work as someone says it should, then that's fine. I tried it. I didn't get anything from it. It's not to say you won't get anything from it, but I didn't get anything from this particular thing. And then I move on, instead of saying, instead of go, sitting in front of somebody with Wonder Woman bracelets on and gold chains and telling me I'm not doing anything. And I should be doing what you're doing and I should be a part of your movement. And then when I get in your movement with your buddies, you guys are the oracles. And then it's no different than what I'm living in right now because it's hierarchyism again. And we're sitting at you guys' feet because y'all got all that knowledge and y'all not telling us how to get the knowledge to better ourselves so we can just be on one accord and equivalent to each other. But you want me in the pew. So no, I don't want to be in your pew, bro.
Put your cash app on the screen. You need to send this man some tithes and offerings for delivering this word. Keep
But
on
that's
going,
true,
man. I'm
bro.
for real. That's hey, roll with it.
Nah, but I mean that's it, man. It's just like, yo, that you tapping
True.
into that is what that is, man. It's swinging back to yourself. the creator is telling you, come back to yourself, then you're gonna come back to me. Now that's taking it somewhere else, but because I've still been reading, the Nag Hammadi, and where I'm at in that book, it's really talking about God from a metaphysical place. And it's like I'm really enthralled in this section of the book right now. So yeah, it's circled back. It's come back within. And and be okay with it, because me and my wife was talking about this, and I'll let you add on. We was talking about going outside feeling good. Like you wake up, you pray and meditate, right? Then you take a shower, you feel good, got your smell goods on, now you put a nice outfit on. You head outside and you're like, I'm ready to conquer the day, right? Like I feel good. Now somebody else may perceive you like, oh, look at him. He think he's somebody. Because we exude confidence from ourselves by how we come outside looking, and it was just like somebody may look at you and without even knowing, just having the perception and think you're something you're not, and all you did was wake up in a good place, feeling good, smelling good, looking good, and now you're ready to go handle your do whatever you're about to go do out in the world, but you're just in a good place. And I think because um we've been dumbed down to an extent, or we've been, somebody that's feeling that way is looked at as a narcissist, or conceited or whatever. We didn't start adding these titles to people. That's like, no, how about that person just feel good? How about they feel good today? And it ain't nothing more than that. You know what I'm saying? And so yeah, bro, like I think everything is circling back to within.
Mm-hmm.
You got people that still have us in church.
And I think too, our generation has a particular set of responsibilities that that makes it even more important for us to get our individual selves together, because
Mhm.
there is a collective responsibility we have.
Mhm.
And it has nothing to do with us actually intentionally putting a collective effort together.
Mm. It's doing it naturally and then letting the collective come together.
It's just like how we do the music.
Yep.
We don't set out like, hey Jamal, I was thinking we need to have a song that deals with toxic masculinity, and because that's something that's popular on social media, can you
Right.
write some bars about that? And no, we organically, you do your thing. I don't coach you through making beats. You don't
Right.
coach me through writing,
Right.
but it organically forms something. Okay, so if everybody's organically working on themselves, the light will find each other. Because it's, I don't take it for granted that our generation is called X, and when
Mhm.
we know that X was related to the Aleph, and the Aleph is, first letter of the Hebrew alphabet, and it means ox head. Okay.
Mm.
Okay, so and then we have to then lay down on the symbolism there. The purpose of the ox is to plow the field, to go forth. So then when you get to the ox goad, it's the ox going forth. And the ox, why the Hebrew brothers refer to themselves as Ak.
Oh, okay. Okay. Aki.
Aki. Well, when you say the word ox, you're saying ox. It's really an AKS, ox. Ak.
Mm. Right. Yep.
So ak, it means light. So to me, our generation has a hidden light in it.
Yo, you just made me think of something. Okay, so you say it's the X, right? So we got the X. Bang, right? They say X is unknown, right? Now look
Mm-hmm.
at this. If we're the unknown generation, we got we're old enough to understand everything from the 60s if we've been studying. We're also so we got that coming in over here. I'm trying to bring my hands in the camera, but it's weird looking. So we got we got the 60s and 70s, 80s over here. And the 80s is what turned me on to information through hip hop, Public Enemy, Cares, One Poor Righteous Teachers, Rakim, Big Daddy Kane, they in the 5%. They start talking about all this different stuff. I'm like, okay, this is different. This is where I learned about Farrakhan, all of this stuff. Then over here, we got all this technology and how they're trying to bring forth the future with all this technology. So Generation X, unknown, what are we going to do with these two combinations right here? They're crossing the paths, right? So now we're crossing the path as an X. And then now what are we going to do with the information? We're the generation that is going to help the future understand what's going on, because we're the ones that's juxtaposed between both from old school, because like our parents, they're the generation before us, so it's us, and then with our children, and and my son, like my oldest son's 21, he's going to be 21, or he's 21. We're the ones we're that sectionality for them, of the old and the new, because we got to some of us got an understanding of what's going on, and we're turning them on, because when we're gone, they're going to need to know how nefarious all this information can be and all this technology can be. So we're the ones that, what are we going to do with it? It's always, you always hear rappers say now, like, yo, we didn't teach the young rappers anything, and this is why they out of control. We were so stuck in our ways. We didn't share the information. And that's when you said that, that's what it made me think about. We're Generation X, and so it's like, what are we going to do? It's kind of like we control the future in a sense, at least in the way of understanding what's going on.
Yeah,
I don't know if it made any sense, but that's what it made me think about. It's like, yo, pull it from.
It all makes sense. I think too, if you looked at the tree of life, if you look at the X, there's a point of intersection. Do you see a natural X on here?
Yeah.
There's natural X.
Yeah.
See the X?
Yes, sir.
So that the point in the middle there is called Tiferet. That's what I was telling you, that beat you sent me. Damn, all this shit just come right back around, full circle.
Mm-hmm.
The beat you sent, I was like, I'm gonna say something about Tiferet on there. I'm gonna flip that somewhere in the bars,
Mm-hmm.
The thing about Tiferet is represented by the sun, SUN and SON. And so it's dealing with the heart, because the sun coincides with Leo. Leo coincides with the heart. And the heart is what drives the vital body. The vital body is the blood. And so our generation, to me too, is we're being challenged to see what is at the core of our hearts.
Ooh.
You see, one thing beautiful about this CV19 is it has placed the hearts on display.
Mm.
It's been a
Mhm.
lot of dancing around and saying things and sounding good but if we look closely, we are seeing the hearts being placed under magnification. And what is one of the first things we learned about the Egyptian death scene? About the heart being weighed against a feather.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? People say that like like it's just almost passing, like it sounds good, but really, if we really think about that, the different layers of what it could mean, partly to me, it can mean your sincerity.
Yes.
In ancient times, they would take the certain organs out. The liver was one, and sometimes they would take the heart and examine it out of a person who is deceased to see, because the condition of those organs could give some idea about the quality of that person's soul or the incarnation had they done the work.
Right.
And so I feel like now it's like, especially our generation, our hearts are being examined, because this CV-19 showed if you was a piece of shit, you are a blatant piece of shit now. You your filter, that whatever was that lens or that filter you were able to put up to kind of hide your piece of shitness,
Mm-hmm.
that shit don't work no more. It's for those who have eyes to see, it becomes more obvious.
Yeah. No one's telling you to go get yourself together. They telling you to buy into a program. This program's gonna help you.
Hey, and not and for
Yeah.
big bread, like we going for the juggler,
Yeah.
you know. Um, and so
Come do this monthly workout plan online with us. Get your body right. All type of stuff. I was just sitting back like, yo, people just still no one all of these people that's supposed to have this understanding and great knowledge, y'all dudes is words worth. Yeah, y'all just talking. Y'all still trying to build the people that have nothing, and um and not show them a more natural way to better themselves in this situation. And
right,
just tell me to send you some money to do a monthly workout course, or I got all this information in a lecture, when you could just give me the information in your social media right now. You know what I'm saying? But you want to, I know it, I get it. You want to monetize and get yourself and maybe your family together for whatever you feel is approaching. And I get it, but where's the integrity? Is it the money game or is it the integrity game?
mm,
Yeah, it's always taking back to Monique, you know? And so I don't know, bro. Like, um, where are people hearts? You know? And just listening, I'm like, it made me think about that. Because there's just people taking advantage, man. And that's not what we need at this moment. But you're gonna be caught on that, I think. Um,
no doubt.
and you may have to pay for that in the future.
Let me tell you something. And I don't mean like let me tell you something. I'm just some South shit.
Right.
Um, you can't run.
Right, brother Williams.
That's right. Stop looking for a leader and look. But that requires a lot of things. It requires a lot of things. Honesty. It requires discipline.
Hmm.
And I'm saying this to look within. requires honesty, requires discipline, it requires cultivation,
Mm-hmm.
it requires suffering,
Mm-hmm.
it requires stillness.
I've done all of that.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Speaking,
Uh,
brother.
so none of that shit is entertaining.
Nope, it's hard.
It's hard. A lot of times we be on the phone, like Dap at a building cleaning
Mm-hmm.
at the same time, or I'm hearing him leave the house, telling his son to get his stuff together, and he's trying to pack the snacks that they're gonna have to
Mm-hmm.
take while he's working. While he's doing that, my kids are doing their damnedest to see if they can pop an artery in me. My wife is at work. I'm at the crib, and so the way I work from home, so I might try to get up at 5 o'clock, do a little bit of work before they wake up. They wake up, gotta stop, go through the day, ride them out. They take a nap. I pull over somewhere, might type a little bit. If I can get done real quick, I can pull up some beats and type me a few bars. You know what I'm saying? And then when I'm on the phone with him, he's trying to tend, I'm tending,
Mm-hmm.
got to do work. And what sometimes we'll laugh and be like, motherfuckers be like, do the work.
This is the work.
This is the motherfucking work. The real life is the work.
Yep. Yep.
Your real everyday life is the work. And so what sells online though is escapism,
Utopia. Yes.
utopianism,
Yep.
escapism.
Go into your mind and leave everything behind, but you can't stay there. You only can go there for a few moments. Then you have to come back and cook some corn.
It's a lot of agendas going right now.
Yes.
It's a lot of agendas,
Yep.
you know. And I think it's wise. It don't sound sexy, but I'm gonna tell you what. I think one of the coldest things smoking right now is chop wood, carry water.
Yep.
Chop wood, carry water. Like if if a measure of that can be accomplished, you are so far because you're so far ahead of the game. Like tonight while we were eating dinner. So this is my weekend. I got my two oldest daughters. You know, they're over. So I got all four children. So I got everybody's chart printed out and laminated. And so at the table, we sat down, I took everybody's chart, even my wife's, and went around the table and I started talking to them about their sixth house on their chart.
Hmm.
And, you know, because our children are coming up against AI and a whole bunch of other stuff.
Yes.
And so sitting around bullshitting on the internet don't do shit. You gonna have we're being forced to figure out how to be Aquarian parents. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So this is my little audition. I'm sitting looking at their charts and figuring out what's in their psyche, what's already pre uh, installed software is there that we either need to look for challenges or look for advantages to figure out what direction they can take.
Mm-hmm.
And it was so rewarding as a parent. My youngest is 3 year old. My oldest is 13. And they all were able to chime in at some point.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
That's dope. That's a blessing.
And so what we and I just want to pass this seed on to whomever might catch this. If you're trying to look and help your children figure out, chart their future, look at their second, their sixth, and their 10th house on their chart. Okay. Your second house is going to be possessions. Sixth house is going to be sacrifice, work, practicality, everyday rituals. 10th house is going to be career. Okay. Those three houses are called a trinity of wealth. It might not sound super spiritual, but you can't have spirituality without no fucking food to eat.
Right.
So we can't leave our children a bunch of philosophical sayings
Yep.
and they don't know how to take care of themselves. So this, to me, this can be something we all can do to leave something for our children, help them find their way. Second house, sixth house, 10th house. And I'm gonna say this, and I don't want to go on. The natural ruler of the sixth house is Virgo. So tonight with my children, we focused on their sixth house because this is about emphasizing responsibility. Okay. What I did with them was I showed them what sign their sixth house was in. Okay. Then I also let them know that the natural sign associated with the sixth house is Virgo, which is ruled by Mercury. So everybody, we went around their chart and figured out where their Mercury was. Okay. Then whatever sign was occupying the sixth house, we found a ruling planet for it.
Mm.
Okay. And you can go and there's a way you can find what might be a challenge for your children and what might be a natural, easy path for them. You know, I brought it to my 11-year-old's attention. She has no fire in her chart. So as a parent, that lets me know if your fire is telling the child what they need to have, where they where this our fire is where we get our identity. Okay. If a person don't have no fire in their chart, they may be struggling to find identity. Who am I in this world? So I know for my baby, I've got to pump her with confidence, pump her head up. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I got to constantly feed her. And the moment I find something that she might show interest in, I got to encourage her.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying all this to say this is real practical shit that we can do. You know what I'm saying? You can
Yes.
pull free software, you can pull it for yourself, and you can see these things. And I'm just gonna keep it a buck. This is gonna be my next career move. You know what I'm saying? That's where when I started, and my bad, man. I know I'm going on a fucking run here.
This is what the people need, bro. Like this is application. Like, yeah. Because I told my wife about it. I told my wife what you was doing. Because she's into it also. So I was like, yo, this might be a move so we can get some understanding with Niaz and my older too. So
Yeah,
I'm all
yeah.
ears
It
because I
it
know
it
talk offline anyway. But you know what I mean. But I'm just saying, like, yeah, this is great for the people, bro. Because I think this is a new way to look at, my son just don't have it, or my daughter just don't have it, or you know,
yeah, yeah. We're
this,
running with blinders on.
yeah, like this is a way to see some things.
Like,
Um,
what the fuck is wrong with you? You know,
and then
you
you
know what
want
I'm
to
saying?
You want to? We come from swing on you.
Yeah, shit. You know, and we all battling some shit, and that's the beautiful. Like, see, every tool can be used. It's all comes down to the person wielding the tool. What's your intent? So there are the astrology can be used however you want to use it. For me, I have my intentions. First and foremost, man, did you freeze up?
Oh, did I?
Oh, okay. I thought it was froze. My bad. Like, I want to be able to, man, like you're saying, that the parenting aspect, oh man, just to be able to have the conversation, it made me feel good, man.
Mm-hmm.
Straight up. Not on no bragging shit, because hell ain't they still got to live their life, and we're gonna have to see how productive the shit is. But
Right, right.
just to have the conversation, and be able to, and opportunity to get them excited, you know what I'm saying?
And I think
Um,
them a different view. Like, oh wow, I can use this. You know, like, because now it's like,
yes,
who knows what they've been feeling about what's going on in with themselves. So it's like now you give them this chart. It's another way for it. It's just more ammunition to use and look at myself. You know what I'm saying? It was like now you got this, and this may make sense. It may make sense to them. Like, okay, Dad's telling me about, I don't have any fire in my chart. So now, and then it who knows that it may trigger something in your daughter to do the work herself. Like, I
that's right.
gotta motivate myself. I gotta, if I like something, I have to attack it because I don't innately have that. So now I have to. It's like you taking it to the sports analogy. When I didn't, when I used to play basketball, I played 1 year JV. I played a lot of street basketball. But one time I was playing, I had the ball up the top of the key, and I heard somebody go, "For some left, you don't have a left."
Mm,
At that day, I went to the basketball court by myself and worked on my left, straight out.
mhm,
Next time we bought, and over time, next time we bought, I'm at the top of the key. I jab right, went left. Jab right, went. I started going left like I was left-handed. Like, I'm gonna show you I got it left. So,
mhm.
so with your daughter, it may be, now let me just work on that. Let me work on, okay, I like this. Now let me go in on it. And that's what it seems like. Titan Cherokee Warrior, what's going on?
Peace,
Um,
peace.
it's like that's what it feels like, that could trigger. Um, and that's dope. That's fire.
Yeah, yeah, man.
And one thing about slowing down, because you said something about the sports too. I heard Michael Jordan say, when everything slowed down for him, he could see the court, and it made me think about when I hoop. I knew where I like. I knew where I started looking at basketball like when somebody was dribbling, I was able to time when the ball was out of their hand to get a steal. It took me a minute to do it, but I was able to start timing because, like, I think life is based on patterns, right? Like, so if you find, like, the algorithm, as they say today, right? You understand the algorithm, like you can make a move. We were talking about last time we was on, we was talking about the finance. If you
Mhm.
understand the algorithm, you can make some money. And that's what when you was talking about sports a minute ago, while you was talking, I was thinking about how things slowed down for me, and I was able to say, okay, the ball's out of his hand. If I make my move as soon as he let it go, I got a great probability of stealing the ball because he's not going to be able to push his hand down to get it while it's so low to get it again. So I just learned how to time things, but at the
Mhm.
same time, slowed the game down for me because I started looking at people's patterns. Like I just listened to LaShawn McCoy do an interview on Good Morning Football, and he was talking about Tom Brady calling them guys and telling them like, yo, this cornerback doesn't move his hips, and this cornerback likes to do this, and we can exploit him in this way. And that's when the game is slowed down. And this is what information, and now I'm gonna tie this back to when we're into information and what it gives us, we could slow the world down because now we're knowing what we know their chess moves, what they like to do. Because let's just be honest, these guys ain't really changing chess moves because they think everybody's still, and a lot of people are still in the matrix. But for those that's kind of like got a little understanding of the matrix, we can move. You know what I'm saying? We slowed it down. We peak game.
Mhm.
Know what rooms not to walk in backwards, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, we got some understanding over here. And then once you get that understanding, your world slows down. Now you know how to maneuver. You don't have to buy into everything. I don't have to be FBA ADOS. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, I get it. I don't have to do that. I understand what
What group do you belong to?
Yes, like I'm not in the congregation, bro. I'm sitting back watching it and then knowing how to maneuver within it, And I used to be the talker dude, For a minute, I was like, yeah. Like I talked to a Mason dude, then I start talking about the other side of it, And then they look at me like, okay, bud, you know what I mean? Like, and then I said, no, 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 just sit still, be quiet, just peep, just listen. But it was
Mhm.
said before, like you get so much information and you kind of want to share it, or share what you think makes sense to you. You want to say it to someone else, especially if they're in a room, right?
Mhm.
Like if they're in a particular room you've been looking at, you're like, yo, but have you peeped this? And it's like some of these guys might, because a lot of them guys ain't gonna be forthcoming with what they know. Yeah, whatever, guy. You know what I'm saying? Well, I don't know nothing about that. I'm just on this level, but. So I had this like I'm back in my analyzing bag.
Get his tag number as he pulls off. Let's
Right.
surveillance on him.
Right. Yeah. But circling back with what you said about the astrology, bro, like I think that's I think that's a new alternative for people to use to look at themselves and their children and see how they can correct behaviors uh using that tool.
Hmm. Hey man, I'm gonna have to go get me some of this. You over there drinking? I'm gonna have to go get me another one of these.
Yeah, I thought you wanted long talks, bro. I've been noticing myself. I'm like, every time I talk, I gotta take a little sip of Roscoe right here.
Yeah, so get some of this alkaline water.
Yeah, while you get up, I'm gonna run this track. Give y'all a little track while you go get some water. Little interlude. Think music. Yes, I sell beats, brother Williams. Yes, sir. Yeah, I have a band camp also, with all my projects on there, and you can also check me out. I'm on all the in Think Music too. We're on all the streaming services also. So um, I don't know if you have iTunes, Pandora, or anything like that. If you do, you can look us up on those platforms and hey man, add us to a playlist. Add us to your playlist, bro, so we can get we can low key get some streams. But yeah, I got a bunch of projects on my Bandcamp page, fam. Yep.
Yeah, that's the band camp right there. That's
Yeah,
I
appreciate
put
it.
Dap's band camp in the what you call them in the chat.
Yeah, appreciate that, brother.
Um, no doubt. But
It's
go
two.
ahead.
It's 2 o'clock. How you feel? I know you got a day tomorrow.
Yeah, it's so so much for the 45-minute chat.
Oh, listen. Because I was looking at the time, I was like, okay, we creeping up. I seen an hour. I was like, and we was just flowing at that point. Like it wasn't. I was like, oh, we can stop here. And then I seen like an hour 40, and in my mind, I was like, okay, I'll ask him how he feel about the 2 hour mark. Um, because where you was going with the astrology felt like a good ending point. Um, for what people can do for the future, man. Like, you know, that astrology, bro. Like I'm not tapped into it like you and my wife, and I plan to I plan to tap in a little more. Like I talked to her a lot about it, and also you, but I don't actually do it. So but um, we got some crystals. So I got this crystal in my studio now. She has one in our bedroom. And bro, I'm just really tapping into stuff outside of me more
Mhm.
than I ever have. We're going to the gym spot next month, down in the corner of North Carolina, where it was a big Indian. It was I forget the name of the town. I think it's in Nash County. And I learned this from brother Roz Ben, because he was like, "Yo, North Carolina got the biggest gemstone area," and I found it online. And
Hmm.
we're go. You can go there and go in the caves and dig for your own crystals and
Oh
gems. And
yeah.
yeah, yep, yep. It's like it's by your mom. It's by your old way. But it's a little south. Like it's really close to Tennessee. But once I get more, I
Oh, you talking about Batcave?
I don't know if that but I did tell you about it. I think on the phone. I can't think. I don't know if it's called Bat Cave or not, but I know you can go. There's a river you can go in and look for gems, and there's also a cave where you rent some. You can rent like a, I guess like a pickaxe or something like that, and dig in the grave, get your own gems. The whole town is based on this as an economy. Like get your gems cleaned up and all of that. And I think you could probably get little rings made. And then also there's people that sell gems and all of that there. But we're gonna go dig for our own joints next month. And but just even that is something outside of myself. You know what I'm saying? Mm,
Yeah.
Just getting to like gemstones and things like that. Um, because I really think that's what we were doing. Because when I did the history on that area, obviously it was occupied by the natives, and then they was forced out in the Trail of Tears, and then some Europeans came and took it over. But it's like a mound there and everything. Like so, yeah. I'm um I'm
Hmm.
excited to see what this is gonna. I'm excited to see what it's going to turn out to be, man. It's like 4 hours away from the crib, but that's not a big deal. We probably get like a hotel, stay overnight, come back the next day or something like that. Just peep the whole little scene out. Excuse me.
Oh, Ruby City.
That might be another name for it. Um, I don't remember that being the exact name, but that might be it. But I
You got
think
Gem Mountain. Huh. Foggy Mountain, Gem Mine.
yeah, Gem Mine. Yep. Some what yep. Because we looked it up and they had one of those Mayberry downtown joints where you
Oh
come
yeah.
in a couple buildings on each side and then you know what I'm saying, little storefronts. Um, but yeah, so we gonna check that out, man, and just keep building in that way.
Hey, brother Williams. Um, you just send me your time of birth and locale, like where you were born. And nah, you know I I gotta look out for you, good brother. This
Mhm.
is that this brother right here been getting down for a minute. He sent me this book. I always got it handy. Like 2 years ago. This is a must have.
Ooh,
The
beautiful.
other day Animal Speak. So it's funny, these animals bring you like messages. That there's another way to get a channel through the animals. You
Okay.
know, I had to pull it out the other day because I had a blue jay popped up in the backyard, and red bird. Both of
Mm,
those are coming down here, but the colors were so rich, you know, and so I referred to the book to look it up, and it's just a great resource to have. But either way, nah, this.
I'm gonna send you a picture of a bird that flew in the back, and I think I might have seen it a couple times. Um, a bird
Oh,
that
okay. Yeah, already.
I'll write that down. Yeah.
Let me write that down.
Um,
You say you took a picture of a bird?
yeah, and I'm gonna send it to you because I was like, yo, is this a hawk? I couldn't really tell what kind of bird it was, but yeah, maybe you could look at that bird and then the mean in that book.
You don't know the name of the bird?
I thought it was a hawk, and I took a picture of it. I tried to like zoom in and take a picture. I think it was a hawk for real, man. It was kind of big. I know it wasn't the eagle, and the other big bird is a hawk. Them the like the two big ones, right? Hawk and eagles.
Or
I try to
or a
like,
vulture is a big ass bird too.
and the vultures are they bullet black, right?
Not all of them.
Okay,
I think most of the kind though that we see in North America, I think they're mostly black.
okay.
Now
This
that
bird
I got it.
this was brown, and I thought hawks were brown. I want to say it was brown with some specks of white on its wings and its back. I think it was hawk.
Here it go. And so what? So you saw it. Where'd you see it at?
And so we got the sliding door, and it flew down. And this is the second time I seen it. The first time I was just, oh, Nias, what kind of bird is that? We was checking it out. The second time it flew in, I took pictures of it. But it was in my backyard, in the back of the complex or whatever, where we got the raised garden. There's some other trees and shrubbery back there and everything.
Mhm.
Flew in. And I was like, well, maybe he's seen something, sneaking around on the ground or something. He was ready to take a bite, but he was just back there chilling.
Mm. Yeah.
Might have been a falcon. Okay. Yeah, yeah, because that is another bird, so it could be a falcon too. But I'm gonna send you this. Let me
Okay.
just join up in my gallery real quick while we in real time, because you know me, I'll tell you I'm gonna send you something and forget about it, and They're like, yo, what was I supposed to send you?
Galveston, Texas, 6:35. Huh. Okay.
Now Jamal is the back of it, and I think I got one. I think I got one from the front.
Hey, Brother Williams, if you okay, bet. If you got anything specific, you're curious about, then just email it to me as it relates to your chart, as far as what you're, if you like, anything you trying to. Damn, that's a big ass bird right there.
Yeah, I just sent you another one from the side.
It almost looked like an owl from the back. I'm gonna put this up to the camera.
It's the side. I just sent you the side.
Oh,
I got
yeah, I
him.
wonder if that's a falcon.
Yeah, it might be a falcon. Might be old Falcon's crest.
Okay, I'm gonna put this up to the. See if Brother Williams, if you can see it.
It's a little blurry, but
hold on, we can fix that.
opposite what? Yeah, yeah, it's coming into focus now. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Yeah.
Brother Williams, can you see that? This way. Yeah, I wonder if that is a falcon. Okay. I've been talking to my father too after 43 years. Wow. Wow. Well, I know our generation is he said golden hawk or falcon. Well, let's see here before we close out.
Yo, and in that book that had pictures of the birds, just talks about them, certain ones.
They'll put little pictures, but they're just like little drawings.
Okay. You a little
G. It's pretty good drawings,
Okay. You're a little blurry also, my G, your camera.
Oh yeah, I gotta put my thing back in.
There you go.
All right.
If you don't mind, since we're Think Music, it might be dope to. I know we dropping Wiz. It might be dope to drop either play a song to end this out or an instrumental or something, just to tie into the Think Music. What you think?
He says we will talk about that when that time comes. You gotta bring me up to speed.
What? Chop it up online? I mean, offline.
They have them here in Idaho.
Wow, I'm in North Carolina, so that's crazy. Yo, what is it like in Idaho? I know it's mad rural, but
They almost This one right here almost look like the back of that bird.
Yep. Yep.
Red-tailed hawk. Yeah, this shit long as hell. I have to
Oh, you said
okay, bet. I got you. About your father. Okay. They don't have a falcon in there. Okay, I'm gonna screenshot those pages there about the hawk.
Okay. Whenever you're ready, good brother.
Yeah, you come on, we can chop it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, and just shoot me an email, info@mastersofthecosmos.com, and if there's anything specific you want to look at in your chart, because it's so much it's so much that you can unpack. But yeah, if you own the computer, you can find that bird.
I'm gonna have to Google that.
Yeah.
A golden tail hawk or a falcon. A hawk or you said a hawk or a falcon. It's a golden hawk or a falcon.
Well, so what you gonna do? You gonna play something?
Yeah. Let's see what I just played the last night joint. I played Figure This. Let's do Right Now. That's something I just sent you.
I'm about to get some of this two thirds ain't gonna make it.
Where are you? I need you. Where are you? I need you. Where are you? I need
What's the title on that one again?
Right Now.
Where are you?
It's the Stevie Wonder joint.
Oh yeah, I started writing to that.
It's the one you said there wasn't going to be no layup on this one.
Yeah. Mm, that's dope. I like
Where
that second.
I needed you right now.
Pickle. Pickle. Tickle. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I got something. I got something kicked out for it.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, I think, man, these next few joints we about to drop. Now with the visuals coming, we got something coming. We got something coming, everybody. The chamber, believe us, the chamber is loaded.
Yeah,
Yeah. Pencil
yeah.
in video time, and it's a wrap. Thank you, brother Williams. Yeah, I chopped up. If you listen to, I chop samples. I make organic beats too. So, but I chopped up Stevie Wonder's Superwoman, but you got to play the long version of it, and I took the tail end of it. Those vocal chops are from there, and then I just chopped up the music and added my own bass lines and some keys and all of that stuff to it. But that's the sound source for that beat. Um, but yeah, we got stuff in the chamber, man. It's got to link up with the engineer MFK, and and it's a wrap. We got heat coming.
Yeah.
Bro, Williams said Idaho's a conservative state and very quiet. It's in the shape of a chair, so that means sit your ass down and get yourself in order. Oh man, I thought there was a time like before I got married, like 10 years ago, and I was like, yo, when my kids get older, like I was really planning on making the move, man. I had to put it in my mind, like I was gonna try to move like out of the country though. Like I wanted to be somewhere artsy and where they had like a little bit of culture. But um and I was looking around and I was kind of leaning towards like France and all of that. Um, but plans change. But I also thought about like going west, like that Colorado, and
Colorado.
Utah,
Colorado.
Idaho. Because I hear a lot of good things about that area. I can't do they winters. That's another thing. Like the winters is just ridiculous. But yeah, I really thought about relocating, man, doing something different. But it wasn't meant to be. Yeah.
Well, old boy getting long in the tooth over here.
Yes, sir. It's that time.
Hard to keep up with you young cats.
Listen, I think I'm about to go. It's 3:44 here. I think I'm about to throw something on and go clean and get that knocked out.
Oh man.
Yeah, I'm gonna go.
You the MVP, G.
Yeah, because like I said, I stayed up. I went to sleep. I got like 6 hours of sleep, so I'm up right now. You know what I mean? I might tap something out. But yeah, I might tap something out and leave here like 5 in the morning. And ran by Mormons. I'm in Boise. Wow. They got their own, it's so funny, bro. They got their own commune. They control the whole state. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing, bro. They went somewhere rural in America where nobody wanted to go and built up a whole economy, their own civilization out there. They probably all throughout the government and everything, police, everything. You come out there as a foreigner, like, what you doing over here?
Yeah, Idaho, Montana,
Mm-hmm.
Utah. Hell, they probably got part of Colorado.
Yeah.
And quiet is kept. A lot of these little offshoot groups are small hats.
Where real estate agents, huh?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
On the
Mm-hmm.
low. Wow.
Especially the Amish, you know, because if you think that name is a giveaway, because that's the three feminine, what do they call that in Hebrew? Um, the three mothers, Aleph, Mem, Shin.
Oh,
Amish.
you know that.
Yeah,
They all throughout Pennsylvania heavy.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And they know how to tap in and get money. Because they used to travel from Lancaster up to Harrisburg. We had a farmer's market up there.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody loved the Amish potato salad. They got the good they got the you can go get the whole chicken like a Cornish hen type joint. They got all type of desserts. Like they be in there. Like they little section is the spot up in Harrisburg at the
Mm-hmm.
farmer. They spot is that's where you go, you know. So yeah, they tapped in.
Hmm. Yeah, and the Mormons got that that Bible is I got one back there.
I
They
think
got some books in there. What is it? It was Moreau or something like that, but it's something basically more. I think it's like three like this Moreau one. I know I'm not saying it right, but it's something with more in it.
mm,
So man,
they
this
did the
stuff is so chopped up and hidden, huh?
I said they did the old school knowledge. They was like these Moors. They came and they was running stuff a while ago because they say Mormons don't like African Americans or whatever. Like they got some type of issue with us. It's like and
Mm-hmm.
will be coming back from they understanding it's from a far gone time. So it's like they tapping into ancient history, and the further you go back, we become more prominent, and ain't no telling the stories that's permeating through their culture about those guys back in the day. They wasn't.
Yeah, but what's funny is that they take the name more man,
Mm-hmm. Trying to take on the
the
energy.
energy.
Yep. Yep.
Very interesting.
Then flip it and do it. And I know we about to get off, but remember we was talking about can there be, or remember I asked you, can there be racial karma?
Mm-hmm. Mm.
what was we doing as them thinking, hey, this is what we supposed to do to y'all your underlings, and then you come in and you get some understanding. Now you want to Mormons want to come take on that energy, and not that they're out doing anything, you know uh let's say physical to people outside of knocking on your door telling you to come hang out with Johnny Smith, but it's like let's just let's take that on. Our skin folk here act funny too out this way.
I bet they do.
Yeah, they tied in. They didn't drink the Kool-Aid out that way. Ain't nothing
Yeah.
wrong with I go over Bobby's house and eat potato salad all the time. Everybody's great.
I've got a great job down at the mill. What's wrong with you people? What are you
Yeah.
upset about?
But yo, I'll let you get out of here, my man, and enjoy tomorrow.
Okay,
Uh I probably
appreciate it.
start Sunday. Um when I go hit my building, depending on what time. I know you you talked to my Dukes on that day too, um but yeah, I probably just tap in on Sunday, and
No
see
doubt.
on keep cooking. Brother Williams, thanks for hanging out.
For sure. And thank everybody else too who joined in, and
Titan Cherokee Warrior. Appreciate you.
so we're gonna try to come back do this thing again next week, hopefully.
Yes. Yes, sir.
But as always, man, think music.
The movement.
Movement. So everybody be easy. Catch y'all on the top side.
Peace.
Peace.